What is going on, buddy? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 20 of the F1 22 Road to GOAT Driver Career Mode Series for the British Grand Prix, our home race in Season 2. If you guys did miss the last episode and the first two episodes of the season so far, make sure to go to get yourselves caught up with the playlist link in the top right hand corner of your screen there. But yeah, a home race. Of course, last time we came here, managed to score some points, finished in P8 if my memory serves me correctly. We're starting in P7 for the race today. We qualified P8, but an engine penalty for Lewis Hamilton sends us further towards the front. So could we see the younger British drivers potentially see more of a chance today? Norris sits with 1 point off Leclerc in the Drivers' Championship, but there we are starting from P7 in our Alpine machine and looking forward to getting this one underway. Now, in terms of the weather and the strategy, we're looking at a bit of rain today. So we're starting, the weather quite overcast as it stands, but it's going to deteriorate a little bit, and we're looking towards wet weather around the last third of the race or so. There's a risk that could come early. So what I'm thinking here is we may try and start on the hard or the medium tyres and just try and go as long as we can into the race until that rain arrives, and then we'll make a switch onto inters. But of course, in case that doesn't happen until later in the race, we'll have a set of softs there at the ready as well. So that's the plan. If we can try and make that happen, then that'd be absolutely brilliant. Of course, we've got to defuel the car as well, but if the rain comes, we'll try and take advantage of that as best we can too. So live on the grid now, getting ready for the start of the race itself. It should be very entertaining indeed. We're going out to 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix, our home race here in Season 2. And it's lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Compared to those guys around us, both Ricardo and Ocon get a decent start, go 3 abreast towards that first corner. Both of them getting clear of us into turn number 1. Ricardo and Ocon now in front. We're going to try and go around the outside at turn 2 if we can. Around the outside of Ocon, 3-way, both of McLaren's there on the inside of Norris as we enter Village here for the first time in this Grand Prix. And try to go around the outside of Norris, going into the loop, keeping side by side with them on the exit and making our way through now towards the Wellington straight for the first time in this Grand Prix. Norris still alongside us here. Battle of the Brits here down this next straight, as up front Verstappen shows the way from Leclerc, and then Perez in third place. So side by side with Norris going into the left-hander here. Nice and easy. Norris has the edge on us going into the corner. We'll have the inside through the next right-hander, and we'll take away P6 there. So a decent start from us overall. So we've gained a place off the line. Norris still right there behind us. Could try and slow the move going into Cops for the first time in this race. Be careful not to go too risky with it, but Norris stays behind us in the moment. In terms of the weather report, looking into lap number 2, it's looking like, from what I'm hearing from Mark on the radio, the rain is coming just a little bit earlier than expected here. So the gamble to go on the hard tyres may have worked, but we could have also risked it on mediums if we wanted to. Let's see on what time the rain actually does come in here. On to lap number 3 now. Norris chasing for DRS enable for the first time in this Grand Prix. He's going to try to go us down the hanger straight on the run towards Stowe here. It's been very tight, but we have to squeeze out Norris on the outside. We never got enough run to try and challenge us. We can make our way now towards Vale, and Norris still sticking right there in line behind. Gasly about a second back on the soft tyres, but he's trying to get in charge through the field. As I'd like to do on that first stint. Russell and Sainz about 3 seconds in front of us. We're coming together on the final start lap 6. Those two starting to fight each other now, and we've gained a lot of time. We're now only a second and a half behind, so we are really closing in because those two are side by side these first couple of corners. With Sainz getting the edge of that battle. Russell not willing to give in. He's still trying to go for him. It's pushing to number 8 now. We really have gained a lot of time as Gasly pulls into the pit lane. Perez has a mechanical problem of some kind, so he's dropped back here. Sainz has got around him. He's up into the podium places now as Verstappen and Leclerc continue to pull away. We're going to take the inside of Russell and up in the outside for the next corner. We're going to get in front of him just about. So we are now the leading Brit in this Grand Prix, which is always positive. We'll now get to work on Sergio Perez. He makes his way down the Wellington straight once again, looking towards the next left-hander. Perez has the DRS as well. We're using what's left of our battery here. We've used quite a lot of it in these first few laps in order to try and keep with those guys in front. We've tapped Perez slightly. We'll try to go around the outside of him here, going through the right-hander, and on the exit, we'll go around the outside and maybe get this one done, but Perez is still side by side with us there. We begin to make our way down towards Cops. Once again, we're on the outside of Perez, managed to keep in front of him. At the nose, I'm going into the corner, but Perez gets a great run on the inside, and he'll move back clear of us, going on the exit of Cops. And Russell might try and get involved with us here as he heads towards Maggots and Beckett. We're all over the rear end of that Red Bull, so it makes something happen here. A bit of contact, a bit of wheel banging there. We've run straight into the back of Perez, and there goes Russell, seizing the opportunity and going racing around the outside there, through Beckett, and on the exit, gets in front of both of us here, and Norris taking advantage too, so Perez dropping back here. He's down 7. That bit of contact we made with him definitely won't help his case or help ours either, because we've lost another place in the process. And Russell, they're up in P4 now, so he's now the leading Brit in this race. We've got work to do in order to try and shut him back down again. Pushing on to number 9 now, Verstappen from the lead, pitting onto a fresh set of medium tyres. I'm assuming that he knows the rain is coming, but that's a bit of an odd gamble that Red Bull are taking here. He's trying to go perhaps further into the race before the rain comes down. Perhaps they know something we don't. But it's pushed on towards the end of lap number 10 now. We're still chasing Russell now for third place. We moved up to P4. And there's a yellow flag towards the back of the pack. And I think that is Verstappen who's pulling the car over. To start slowing down at the very least. And we're pulling the car over. I don't quite believe it. Max Verstappen is actually going to end up retiring from this British Grand Prix, from the lead here. It's all gone wrong, a nightmare lap for Max Verstappen. Chances of winning this British Grand Prix are now drifting away by the moment as here he goes through Max and Becker here looking at the replay. All seems fine with the car. He's closing in on those guys in front of him. That's the BMW Williams and one of the Audi cars in the back. And the car seems to go slow, so internal failure perhaps. And we see the smoke, a puff of smoke out of the car just here as he begins to pull the car over. So the race over for the Dutchman then. And that'll be an unfortunate, another retirement on his record here. So that pushes up into P4 though. So we are now a place away from the podium as it stands. Russell is the only thing staying our way right now. And Leclerc pitting now as well for another set of dry tyres. And our teammate Esteban Ocon coming in from behind us as well. So now those guys out of the picture. So we're now up into P3 and chasing Russell for P2. And I'm assuming that us as well as these guys around us are going to be staying out on these tyres as long as they can until the rain starts to fall. It's pushing to number 14 now. The weather report is saying we're still set to see the first few drops of rain here as we chase Russell down the Wellington Straight, and hopefully the rain won't impact us making the move too much. Going to look to the inside very late on the brakes there. Russell, of course, giving us a bit of space, but pushing towards the curve a little bit there. I suppose we did go a bit late with it. Going around the outside here of this next corner, and on the exit, we managed to get the traction to pull in front of him. And dissimilar to how we did it against Perez, but this time we managed to get in front of the car and trying to pass around the outside. So it's job done there. So up into P2 now, when the rain is seriously starting to come down the track, guys. So as it comes to the end of lap number 15, Sainz is making the choice to go into pit lane. And we're going to follow him in here. And it looks like Russell and Norris are coming with us as well. And how about Kevin Magnussen there in P5, doing an excellent job there in his first stint. And I assume he'll be coming in this lap too. And Leclerc there in P6 as it stands. Could he beat us all out? Potentially, but that's coming for another set of intermediate tyres as well, because there's no way he can run on the mediums as he is now. So looking at the turn in, going to try and come out in front of both Russell and Norris. There goes Sainz on the exit of his pit box, and making our way in now for our stop from the Alpine crew. Keeping an eye on what they're doing. Russell gets out first, and we've got to wait for both Russell and Norris to go through, so we've lost 2 places there. And now with 10 laps to go, we're back down to P4, when the potential P2 was on the cards there. It's definitely not over yet. There's still a long way to go, and if some of us go wrong, Sainz could even end up winning this race per se. Still very unlikely, but a podium would be what we're looking at here. We've got a very realistic chance of doing it. Just 4 races into our Alpine career here. So making our way back out onto the racetrack, and we've got 10 more laps, as I say, to try and get around both these cars if we can. It should be a very good scrap between 3 young Brits at the British Grand Prix, no less. And Russell and Norris go side by side out of Stowe and going towards Vale. We could have a chance of making our very own here through goes Hamilton moment if these two line it up for us perfectly. Russell and Norris still side by side on the exit. We're going to try and look to the inside, but in the wet there's just not enough run. Let's try and recreate that sort of thing and try and swipe P2. So not going to happen for us here. This person's at 17. Russell leading Norris second in this little pack, and Norris almost losing it there. We've run right into the back of him, and we almost hit him again, making our way through. So perhaps a bit of damage on Norris's car. I think he's okay. Our car's okay as well, but that was a very scary moment, potentially Norris spinning and almost taking us with him as we begin to chase down George Russell now. Onto lap number 18, we're still sticking with him, and up front Sainz is showing the way. He's building that lead. He's got about 7 seconds on us now, and we're looking at Russell to make something happen as we make our way down towards Cops once again, and through Woodcote we come. Russell just has too much pace for us right now. He's still getting away. We don't have a lot of DRS either, so that's the crucial thing. We're running out of battery rapidly. So crossing to lap number 25 here. We're still right there with Russell as we make our way onto the final lap of this Grand Prix. We've been chasing him all the way here, but I still think he's got a bit too much for us, and we're starting to drop off here. Norris perhaps might start closing in as well. He's a second back, but anything can still happen as Sainz heads on for victory. Oh, we've run the car into the grass a bit there, and that definitely won't help us. We've gone way off our line these first couple of corners, and Russell will take the opportunity to get away just a bit more if he can. We're still sticking with him. We're going to try and make something happen, but I think he may have just outrun us at the end of the day, so he's pulling away as best he can here, and Norris may start closing in on us as we make our way down the Wellington Straight for the last time as we push on towards the end of the lap. Still looking at trying to hold on to P3 here, because we are still going for our first podium in F1. We're just a few straights away from accomplishing that, but Russell's getting away, Sainz headed for victory, and Norris is closing the gap rapidly here. We could see him go perhaps a last gasp move into the final couple of corners. Up front, Sainz is going through to come through and claim the British Grand Prix for the second successive season. He wins once again here at Silverstone, once in the dry and once in the wet, and Norris might try and go for us one final time if he can get close enough. We're almost right a bit deep going into Vale. We've managed to hold our line perfectly. I think there's no more space for Norris to get through. Russell will come in the second. He's beaten us. We've beaten Norris, and we're going to run to the line to claim our first ever podium in Formula 1. Get in there. Absolutely fantastic stuff from this team. Just 4 races into our career of Alpine, and I am hugely satisfied with that. Mick Schumacher gets driver of the day, but doesn't really matter too much for me, because for the first time, we're on the podium. Get in.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari.
So there you have it then. Sainz gets the plaudits to the crowd here at Silverstone for the victory. Russell comes home in second, and we join them on the podium for the first time ever in this Road to GOAT Career Mode Series. It's been a little while coming. Of course, the Williams was definitely not in position to compete for podiums. Alpine definitely are. The front five teams have definitely closed up each other an awful lot to the point where the McLarens and ourselves and the Alpines can try and keep pace with them. So could we see more of these down the line as the season continues? I definitely hope so. If we can try and get the podium a few more times this year, that'd be a spectacular thing for us.
Lando Norris takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Mick Schumacher gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today, as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So after the British Grand Prix, have a look at the final results after this race. So Sainz wins it from Russell in second and ourselves in third. Norris comes home fourth in the end. We just managed to beat him in the end by about a tenth or so. Leclerc recovers to fifth. Magnussen in sixth place. Schumacher seventh. Brilliant result for him in the Audi. I think that's one of their first points of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Perez comes home eighth in the end after that mechanical problem. Guan Yu Zhou comes home ninth. That's more points for Williams for him. And Daniel Ricciardo takes the final points on offer as our teammate Esteban Ocon comes home 12th, and Hamilton was unable to recover. So in terms of the Drivers' Championship then, Lando Norris reclaims the lead by 1 point over Leclerc. Sainz will come home. Now he's up to third place with the victory. Russell up to fourth. Verstappen and Perez both dropping off here, and we're still in P7, just 2 points back from Perez. Could we claim some more points over the next couple of races and try and match those guys? We'll have to see. And Alpine still staying fifth in the constructors, but Ferrari moving into the lead. Red Bull down to second, Mercedes up to third, and McLaren down to fourth. Guys, is there more podium finishes in the future for us at Alpine? They have to let me know down in the comments below. And if you do want to find out, make sure to stick around until the end of the season and for any future videos I may make. But that is the end of the video, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the playlist if you're new to get caught up on the entire series as we move into the next couple of episodes. And until my next video, guys, have a great day, and I shall see you later. Goodbye.